That's why I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold.
Let me be your woman. Woman, woman, woman. I can be your woman. Woman, woman, woman. Baby, I like you so.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Kennedy, and I'm back once again with another movie review video. In this video, we're going to be reviewing Descendants Wicked Wonderland, aka Descendants 5. I did a review for Descendants 4 The Rise of Red 2 years ago, so you want to check out that video before you check out this one. I will link that in the description below. But in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Descendants 5 because I had a couple of opinions. This video is not going to be as long as my Descendants 4 video. I'm going to try not to make it as long as that video. So I hope you guys enjoy my review because I have quite a few opinions. But before we get into this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Kennedy____. Follow me on TikTok at Kennedy_39. And make sure you have me on Snapchat at KennedyBuck, no space, no capitals. And I'll get straight into the review. Alright, so first we're going to get into the plot. I actually really enjoyed the plot. But what pissed me off about this movie was that they still didn't show what the prank was, and I wanted to know what the prank was from the fourth movie, because that was one of the main things that made me mad about the fourth movie, is that they didn't show the prank, and they still didn't show the prank in this movie. So I was like, what the hell? But I understand, like, since they went back in time and they changed everything or whatever, that the prank technically didn't happen, but I still wanted to see the prank because I'm nosy. So I was kind of mad that they didn't show the prank, but whatever. I let it slide because what they did with the plot, I actually really enjoyed it. I was very entertained by the plot. I was never really bored, and they didn't leave like a bunch of plot holes like they did with the fourth movie, and I was thoroughly entertained. So I enjoyed the plot. I liked that Maddox Hatter was the villain. Since the Queen of Hearts is no longer the villain, Max Hatter became the villain, and he was a pretty good villain, so I enjoyed his antic. Something that I wish that they did do, though, was that I wish they had Chloe and Red kind of get more acclimated into their new lives for me to fully understand, like, the differences, because they were only really in their new lives for 2 seconds, and then they ended up going to Wonderland, like, 5 minutes into the movie. So I wish that they spent more time, like, showing the differences between their life before and after. Like, because, for example, like, when Chloe was talking about how her mom changed and stuff like that, I didn't really see the difference, because I'm like, girl, how you know she changed and you only was with her for 5 seconds? So how do you know that she completely changed? Because I didn't really see much of a change because they went through that part so quickly. And so I wish they kind of spent more time, like, showing the differences between before and after, because I wasn't really feeling that. But I understand that they were trying to cram a lot of stuff into a short period of time, so they couldn't spend as much time as I would have liked on that part. But that's kind of something I wish that they did show more of in the movie. But I still enjoyed the plot, even though I kind of wish they spent more time in certain places. But that's just like a small thing. Another thing that I thought was interesting too was the beef with Red and Chloe. Like, honestly, like, I understand why Chloe was mad, but at the same time, like, Chloe was giving kind of jealous girlfriend vibes, because I was kind of like, every time that Luis and Red was like having like little romantic moments, Chloe was looking like she was like rolling her eyes and stuff, and I'm like, girl, you jealous? Like, is you cool? Like, I understood why she was mad, but I'm like, it was giving jealous girlfriend a little bit. And I was like, y'all not together, so why are you mad? But, so I don't know, like, the beef with them, like, I was buying it, but I wasn't buying it completely. Because I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, like, girl, we're, like, all trying to accomplish the same goal here. Like, let's just relax. Talk things out. Everything will be okay. Like, because I was kind of sad that they had them beefing like the whole movie, though, because I was like, because they didn't really get to expand off of their friendship that much because they was beefing for like 80% of the movie. So, But Red did kick her to the curb a little bit, and she was a little bogus for using her as bait and everything. So I understood where the beef was coming from, but dang. But Max's beef with Red, his beef with her made more sense because Red kind of ruined his life. So his beef with her made more sense than Chloe's beef with her. But I understood everybody's perspectives, but I'm like, okay, Chloe was giving jealous girlfriend a little bit. She was. So yeah, I enjoyed the plot, even though it did not have the prank in it or whatever. But I feel like the ending and everything, like it wrapped things up a lot better than the fourth movie, and there wasn't as many plot holes, and I was entertained. I was never bored. It was kind of a lot going on, but I liked that there was a lot going on because I was not bored. So I enjoyed it. All right, so next we're going to get into the characters. I feel like this movie low-key had too many characters, but there wasn't really any characters that I didn't like. But there definitely was characters that were unnecessary, but since I pretty much liked all the characters for the most part, I didn't really see much of an issue with there being a lot of characters. The new characters that were in this movie was Hazel Hook, that's Captain Hook's daughter, and Harry Hook's sister. Felix is Dr. Facilier's son. Pink is Red's sister. Robbie is Robin Hood's son, and Luis, his mom, is the muscular lady from Encanto. I only seen Encanto like twice, so I don't really remember the characters' names. But I just know his mom's the muscular lady, so that's pretty cool because she was one of the characters I liked when I did watch the movie. So I was like, all right, I'm down. But his inclusion was kind of confusing to me though, because I feel like a lot of the Descendants characters are descendants of characters from like the Renaissance era of Disney. And Encanto is like a newer movie, so I'm like, okay, does Encanto take place in the same time frame as like Snow White and Beauty and the Beast and all that? Because since that movie's more recent, I'm like, how would Luis's mom have a kid that old already if the movie's more recent? So I just thought that was weird because I'm like, out of all the recent Disney movies, they chose Encanto. Okay, that's interesting. But I didn't mind it by the end because I ended up liking his character, but I just thought it was odd because I'm like, this is a newer movie. So does it take place at the same time as the other one? So that part kind of was weird to me, but I let it slide because I ended up liking Luis by the end of the movie. So I let it slide. But at first I was kind of thrown off by it. But I'm like, it felt like they was kind of grasping at straws to try to find another, like a love interest. So I'm like, so they chose Encanto out of all the movies. Okay, fine. I let it slide, but I thought it was strange at first. But my favorite characters were, this is in no particular order. These are just the characters that I enjoyed. I liked Hazel. I liked Pink, Max, Chloe. I liked Cinderella, aka Brandy, and Rita Ora, aka the Queen of Hearts, and I liked Luis. And those were my like standout characters for me. Red is okay. Like I always liked Chloe more than Red, like even in the last movie. So I like Red, but I like Chloe better. So that's why I didn't really say her is like I don't have an issue with her, but she's not like my favorite. You know what I'm saying? The characters that I thought were like unnecessary though was Robbie, Felix, and the twins. At first I liked the inclusion of the twins because that kind of ties this movie with the first three movies because they were in Descendants 3. So I was happy that they utilized them as like kind of a connection, but they didn't really utilize them like I thought they were going to utilize them, because in Descendants 3 they didn't have any lines at all, and in this movie they didn't really have any lines either. They said a little something here and there, but for the most part it was giving extra again, because they were like extras in Descendants 3 and they was giving extra in this movie. So they weren't utilized like I thought they were going to, considering they were kind of a connection to the first three movies. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but I didn't dislike them or anything. They were like comedic relief. I thought they were funny, but that was it. Like, they weren't utilized how I thought they were going to be. Another missed opportunity was, I think that they should have included Celia as well. I don't really know the gap between Celia and Felix though, but I feel like in Descendants 3, I don't think she was that much older than the twins were. So I thought maybe she'd be maybe like 2 or 3 years older, so she could have been like a senior or something. So I didn't think she was that much older than this group, so I thought it was kind of a missed opportunity for her to not be in the movie. But there's so many characters in this movie that I guess it was probably better if she wasn't in it. But when they had Felix in it, I'm like, okay, so where's Celia at? Because I don't think she's that much older than them, but maybe she is. I don't really know the timeline with the gap between this movie and Descendants 3, so maybe she's like an adult now. But yeah, I just think maybe they could have included her in there, a little cameo, but it's whatever. It was just strange to me that they just introduced a bunch of siblings for previous characters, and they didn't even mention the previous characters like at all. Like, because Felix literally has 2 siblings, because in Wicked World there was another Facilier kid. I think her name was like Freddie or something like that. They never mentioned her. They didn't mention Celia for that. So I'm like, Felix has like 2 whole sisters, didn't mention them at all. I thought it was weird that Hazel didn't bring up Harry at all. And I wonder if they got 2 different moms, because Hazel is clearly mixed and Harry is not. So who is there 2 baby mamas, or like what's going on? So I needed an explanation for that. So there was a couple questions that I had as far as the family trees go, but that's too complicated. It's too complex for a kid's movie. But like, there was just confusion a little bit. So I'm like, okay. And then who else? I think that was the only ones where I was like, okay. And also Chad too, but I don't like Chad, so I didn't really care that he wasn't mentioned. But they didn't mention Chad in this movie either. So the lack of mentioning of family tree, like the family tree plot holes, is a little strange, but the lack of mentioning of siblings was weird to me. So that was another thing I thought was weird, but that's a small thing that I let slide as well. And I still need an explanation as to why Rita Ora has a British accent and her childhood self did not, and her kids do not. So why does she have an accent? Does Rita Ora does not know how to do an English accent, or what? Because I like Rita Ora, so I was trying to like ignore it, but at the same time, it's like that doesn't make sense, and they have yet to explain it, and they need to. But whatever. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this universe that's confusing. So I'm not even like surprised, because that's a question I had the last time, and they still didn't explain it. So another thing that I let slide with this movie was the lack of Paolo in this movie, because I was pretty salty that he was barely in the movie. He was only in like 2 seconds of this movie, and I was a bit disappointed, because I wanted him and Brandy to have more time together, but they didn't show them like at all. They had like 1 scene together, and he was in like 2 seconds of the movie, like I said. So I was a little salty about that, but I also let that slide too, because I understand they didn't have that much time. There's a lot of stuff they had to cover, but I wanted some more Brandy and Paolo moments, and we didn't really get that in this movie. So, but I let it slide. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the ships of the movie. In the beginning of the movie, I wasn't sure like what the ships were going to be, because I thought Robbie was gonna be with Chloe, and I thought Luis was gonna be with Red, and it was gonna give like double date vibes, but they didn't go that route, so I was a little confused. And then and then I was like, okay, so is Chloe gonna be with Max, or is she gonna get a love interest at all? And they didn't give her no love interest. So I was a little bit like disappointed with that. I was just confused because I'm like, because they introduced all these characters, and I'm like, okay, Chloe got to end up with one of them, and Red got to end up with one of them. Red and Luis, they cute or whatever, but I wanted Chloe to get her a man as well. So I was like, I was a little salty about that. So I was kind of shipping her and Max or her and Robbie, but yeah, like I said, they didn't really go that route like I thought. Also, I would not mind Red and Max too, because they was kind of giving that too. Like, I'm like, okay, so who's gonna end up with who? I was so confused. But Red and Luis was kind of obvious, but then once they started giving Max and Red like a lot of scenes. So I'm like, okay, so are they gonna get together? Because if they get together, that low key makes more sense than Red and Luis. But they went Red and Luis, which I was okay with because I like Luis. So I let it slide. I'm sorry, I keep letting stuff slide in this movie, y'all. I'm letting a lot of stuff slide, and I'm very shocked. But since I ended up like enjoying the movie in some capacity, I'm letting stuff slide that I wouldn't normally let slide. But I like Luis and Red, but Max and Red would have made more sense for me personally. And then Chloe could have been with Robbie or something. Or she could have been with Max too. Like, I'm confused. I don't know. I'm okay with the route that they went with the ships, but I think Chloe should have got her a man as well. But they didn't do that for some reason. Maybe because she got a crush on Red and she was being jealous of Red being with another man. Because that's what it was giving. But I've already talked about this. All right, we're going to get into the looks of the movie. I actually don't have that many notes as far as the looks go, because I actually liked the looks in this movie way better. It was a big improvement from the fourth movie. The first thing we're gonna talk about though is the elephant in the room, and that's Chloe's wigs. I'm so glad that they fixed that, because her having 50 different wigs in the fourth movie was ridiculous. It was like they were trying to test out a look to figure out which one they liked, but it's like y'all should have had that figured out before y'all filmed the movie. Like, that's something that you're supposed to figure out when you're doing wardrobe and hair. Like, you're supposed to figure that out before you film the movie, not during. That doesn't make sense. So that was weird. But in the fourth movie, I do like that I like the bigger curl look, because those smaller curls was giving poodle, and I didn't like that. So I'm glad that they did the bigger curls with this movie. They realized that the bigger curls work better, and they stuck with the bigger curls. So I'm glad they went with that, and I'm glad they fixed it. So instead of 50 different wigs, she had maybe about 4. So I think the wig in the first song was a wig, and then her second wig was the Wonderland look wig, and then her villain wig, and then at the end she had a different wig. Because I feel like at the end her hair was a little bit darker than it was at the beginning of the movie. So, but my favorite wig though, I really like that villain wig. That villain wig was cute because it had it was long, and it had some silver sparkly little streaks. I don't know what it's called, but it had sparkly streaks in it, and that was super cute. So I liked her villain wig the most. And then I liked her wig. Her first wig was cute too. And I like that they incorporated more silver into her look, like the silver and blue. I like that. Very sparkly, very shiny. I liked her silver. And it looked like they put a little bit of silverish gray streaks in her wig in her Wonderland look as well. Because I saw a little bit of silver, grayish silver in there. I liked that. And yeah, so I like that they stuck with a look, and they kept with that look and didn't change the curl pattern every other scene. I'm glad that they improved on that. I liked Red's hair as well. I liked her little heart braid in the back. That was super cute. So yeah, I liked everybody's looks in this movie. It was fire. The last thing that we're going to be covering is the music, because that's one of the most important things of a musical. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. So the best for last. My favorite songs are For Once in My Life. I thought that song was super cute. That song, I felt all warm and fuzzy. It was kind of giving Can I Have This Dance from High School Musical 3, and I was feeling that. I loved it. I was eating it up.
For once in my life.
My second favorite song was Did You Hear About Them? Because I like the kind of little Spanish vibes, because I love Spanish music and I was loving the Spanish vibes of the song. And yeah, so I was feeling that, loved it. That was actually the first song that like grabbed my attention, like when I was listening to the songs. Because I was like, the first couple songs, I was like, oh, it's all right. But once I got to this one, I was like, okay, that's the one. That was the first one to grab my attention. Was Did You Hear About Them?
He's the greatest. Not hard to say this, cause I'm a fan.
Heartless was my next favorite because that song reminds me of Queen of Mean. It was giving a Queen of Mean moment. The transformation, Chloe's transformation, fire, loved it. Yes. Her villain look was super cute, by the way. I already mentioned that. So yeah.
Just the sound of emptiness. You're heartless.
And then my next favorite is The Girl I Used to Be. I love that song too because it was kind of giving space between vibes. They were kind of giving that with like the flashbacks, and then Rita Ora and Brandy were like standing face to face and stuff. It was giving space between. Love that vibe, but I like this song better than Space Between. It was way superior because Brandy and Rita Ora are like professional singers, and I'm glad that they took advantage of that opportunity and gave them a duet. So yes, they're like, we have two professional singers here, we're gonna use them, we're gonna utilize them, and I'm glad that they did.
So crazy. Put it on small way. Look at girl. Be happy.
And I'm just glad that they gave them like a lot of scenes together too. Like, I love that. Rita Ora and Brandy are a good little pair, and I was loving their scenes together. That was one of the highlights of the movie for me. So the fact that they got a song, love that. So I would say for the most part, I liked the duet songs more than the ensemble songs. I wasn't really feeling the ensemble songs like that, because I have high standards when it comes to like ensemble cast songs that have everybody on them. Like, I have high standards because I grew up with High School Musical and Cheetah Girls, and like those ensemble songs are like top tier. Same thing like Descendants 1, 2, and 3, like their ensemble songs are top tier. Kenny Ortega knows how to put together an ensemble song and give like we're all in this together, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's good at that. Since Kenny Ortega's not involved in the 4th or 5th movie, like the ensemble songs like just don't hit the same. So like the ensemble songs weren't that bad, but like I wasn't really feeling the ensemble song, which is weird because usually the ensemble songs are the ones that I like the most in a movie, because it's supposed to give like we're all in this together, and it just was not giving that. So I actually like the duet songs more than the ensemble songs, which I thought was kind of weird because usually it's the opposite for me. But that was kind of how I felt like at the end. But this soundtrack was way better than the 4th movie soundtrack. This soundtrack felt more like a Descendants soundtrack. Like, it felt like the first 3 movie soundtracks. Because that 4th movie, that soundtrack just kind of felt like a sore spot for me. Like, it was just a disappointment. And because like the 4th movie, I only added 1 song from that soundtrack to my playlist. This one, I added like over half of the songs to my playlist. So this soundtrack feels cohesive with the first 3 movies. So I definitely enjoyed the soundtrack. The choreography was better. The visuals was better. The setting of this movie was better. Like, they definitely improved a lot from the 4th movie. They definitely took our notes and they took them into consideration. So overall, I really enjoyed this movie. And hopefully, like, if they do make a 6th movie, that they expand and make it even better, because they definitely took our notes into consideration and they definitely improved upon this movie. So, yes. I didn't really get into the Wonderland set. Like, it was gorgeous. Like, I really liked it, even though it was probably all CGI, but they did a good job at like making it like very whimsical and bright, and the colors, I loved like all of that. The color scheme was really good. Like, so even though like, and I do like the Oridon set too. Like, they look like they brought back like the OG Oridon set, so I liked seeing that, because the fourth movie kind of felt a little bit cold to me. Like, it just, like, the vibes were off, and I feel like this movie brought back the vibes from the first three, which I enjoyed, and I liked, like, how eventful it was, and I felt very, like, satisfied after watching it. Like, it was very satisfying and wrapped up really well, and I was engaged the whole time. It kept my attention the whole time, and I was just amazed by, like, how pretty, like, the visuals and stuff were. Like, the budget was budgeting. They definitely had a budget increase, and it was great. So overall, I enjoyed this movie, and I hope the sixth movie is just as good, if they're gonna make a sixth movie, but we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie a little rating. So out of 10, I would give this movie an 8 out of 10, because it was definitely a drastic improvement from the fourth movie, and I actually enjoyed this one. I could actually see myself kind of rewatching this movie, because I never really rewatched the fourth movie after I saw it, because I watched it for my video, and then I never watched it again. So this one I can actually see myself rewatching, and I enjoyed it. So, and it felt like Descendants. Like, it felt like the vibes of the first three. So I enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my review. Before you leave, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Kennedy___. Follow me on TikTok at Kennedy_39. And make sure you have me on Snapchat at KennedyBuck, no space, no capitals. And I'll be back with more videos soon. See ya.
And all I can say is I'm so proud of you. I'm so